Hello everyone, it's the Independent Kid, and today my presentation is about virtual reality. What is virtual reality? Virtual reality is a fully immersive, computer-simulated environment that gives the user the feeling of being in that environment instead of the one they are actually in. This is a quote by Armin Valdez from Mashable. Why am I interested in virtual reality? Ever since it came out, I became super excited because you can really get into the game. What was the origin of virtual reality? What I think was the biggest step towards virtual reality was the Viewmaster, originally made in 1939. Reels were necessary for use, such as the Doctor Who one you see here, and in 1966 they added kid-friendly reels, such as Doctor Who. On the top right you see a picture of the Viewmaster G model, made from 1959 to 1977. How do these things work? We look through them much like binoculars. You look through these two here, and light will come in through these two. You would put the reel in this slot here, and you would go to the next reel by clicking this down. Each eye sees a slightly different reel image to create the three-dimensional effect. What are the challenges of creating virtual reality? It's expensive due to the need of lots of computer power. Users may also feel sick and need a sense of touch or feel. Number 1 is computer power. For a virtual reality game, you need two full high-definition screens, one for each eye, each refreshing 3 times faster than a television for smooth images. You also need the ability to create three-dimensional images on both screens, and you need to be able to process data from the movement of the user's head, body, and any input from the controllers. Number 2 is the users and the sickness. The symptoms are similar to motion sickness, and this is due to differences between signals to the brain and the ear. Finally, you have touch. The body will expect the hands to be able to reach out and touch things in order to interact with the virtual world. This is especially important in virtual reality training, for example, military use. Let's take a look at the most popular virtual reality machines at the moment. Number 1 is the HTC Vive. It's made by HTC, and you can mark points in the room using the Vive. When you get too close to a wall during gameplay, it'll put up a blue wall. This feature is called Chaperone. The HTC Vive costs a little more than $1,000. Number 2, Oculus Rift. It's made by Oculus and comes with the Xbox One controller. It has a system similar to HTC Vive Chaperone, called Guardian. The Oculus costs a little less than $1,000. Finally, the PlayStation VR. It has an easily adjustable headset. It costs at least about $1,000 on Amazon, not including the cost of a PlayStation 4, which is necessary. What are the parts? Well, it has built-in headphones, it has adjustable lenses, a head tracker, high-definition screen, actually taken from the Samsung Galaxy Note 3, and finally, a motherboard, the chip that controls the display. What are the external bits? It has a sensor, which uses infrared technology to figure out where the headset is. It also has touch controllers, such as the Xbox One controller, which control your movement in-game. What are these touch controllers? Well, they're tracked by the sensor to see the location of the controllers, and will deliver feedback when you interact with your virtual world. The trigger on the back also replicates firing a gun in a shooter game. Augmented reality versus virtual reality, the ultimate test. Let's start with, what is augmented reality? Our example is Microsoft HoloLens. It puts three-dimensional objects in the real world, and the holograms are superimposed on, for example, the wall. An example of this is the game Robo-Raid for Microsoft HoloLens. Here's a picture of Robo-Raid. Here's a shorthand animation of how it works. As you can see, you tap your finger to shoot at them, and they come out of your wall. Also, you can see if you shoot in the wrong place, you destroy your wall. What are the pros of augmented reality? You can't bump into things easily, and things will appear in the real world. You also have 360-degree view. The cons of augmented reality. Sickness is still possible. Remember, virtual reality is fully immersive, does not include the real world, and is fully computer generated. An example of this is Farlands. Here's the logo and an image of Farlands, and here's a short video. As you can see, you can interact with the creatures in the virtual world, and there's no real world in this game. What are the pros of virtual reality? It has fully immersive gaming, 360-degree view, and it's realistic as possible. What are the cons of virtual reality? It's still possible to bump into things, it can also cause sickness, and the games might not be comfortable. Luckily, the Oculus website in the game shop lists the comfort level of all the games. What are their current uses for virtual and augmented reality? They're both used mainly for gaming, while augmented reality does allow use for work. You can shape objects while still seeing the real world, while virtual reality wants fully immersed. What's the current impact on society? You start playing fully virtual games. Consoles like Xbox One will have to catch up to PlayStation VR. There will eventually be no use of non-virtual reality games, consoles, or non-virtual reality computers. Finally, there's revolutionized gaming, experiences that you could never do in the real world, better news stories because of viewers inside the story. An example of this is the movie Clouds Over Sidra, which allows the viewer to walk in the shoes of a Syrian refugee. Finally, you can travel to places all over the world with 360-degree view. This is exactly what Google Earth VR has done. With HTC Vive, they created Google Earth VR, which allows you to just do that. Travel all over the world with 360-degree view. What do the future versions of virtual reality have? They have a more advanced motion tracker, which lots of people are having problems with. They also have a warning sign appear on screen when you're too close to an object. It'll be way less bulky, and my future version will have a greater impact because the motion tracker is the most advanced. Virtual reality will warn you when you're too close, and it will allow you to hook up to any console and use the existing controller. Finally, it'll trick the mind into thinking that the experience is real. What is the future use? There will be engineering use, military use, even better gaming, medical use, and space exploration. Why are augmented and virtual reality important? People in the military can train. You can test products in the augmented reality world, or even the virtual reality world. You have fully advanced gaming and lots of fun. Thank you for watching my presentation.